Hello and welcome to my vvvv Gamma Learn Log Day 5. My name is Takuma Nakata. I'm an interaction designer based in Kyoto. And in today's Learn Log, I want to share how I managed to separate a task for RunwayML so that the editor window won't freeze while RunwayML is processing something heavy. Okay, so let's get started. So in our last so this is the second episode from our last RunwayML episode 4, and in that one I shared how you could connect a RunwayML, how you could link RunwayML with vvvv Gamma. And in today's one I want to share how to use AsyncTask so that if I bang a RunwayML, it would not, the viewport will still be movable and editable while things are being processed. So I just want to turn on this task. So right now my RunwayML, this image to text one is the one that I'm using today, but it's offline right now, and that's because, as I shared on my last Learn Log, we have to make sure that this notepad has the correct API address and the link and the name of the machine learning, how to say, machine learning blah 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 that you want to use. Anyways, I'm gonna share that. I will be copying this URL and this model name, and also here, as I shared last time, there is this API key, so I'll just copy these, and the API key will go here, so I change this one, and then I'll copy the URL to here, so I'll just copy paste this one, and then also the model name is called IM to text, so I'll just copy this one. Make sure that you don't have any additional space or enter, just make sure that it's all in the right coordinates, so comma space link comma space and then API key, and then I just press save. And right now my RunwayML is not activated, so I'll just make sure that it turns on. So this activate, this is waking up right now, but after it wakes up, then I should be able to see this node. Yeah, okay, so now it's all working. And then last thing I'll do is this trigger needs to be connected to AsyncTask, so just connect these two and then press trigger, and let's see what happens. So now I can move the editor, but in the same time it's in progress. So it's sending the data to RunwayML to process, like, yep, now we got a text at the bottom. Let's see what that says. So a man on a snowboard in the snow. This seems to be what this IM2 text thing thought this is about. So this is pretty clear. And let's try it with some other video. Right now it's a man with a snowboard in a snow, but what if I try this, change this video to something else? I have a few different images that I've captured. Yeah, let's just try this one. This one is my previous. Wait, I don't like the UI. I'll try it with something else. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just use this video that I created a few weeks ago. And then let's see what happens. Also, I'll bang this again to see what this happens. So now it's loading. A man on a snowboard changes to a stop sign with graffiti written on it. So this IM2 text thing generates a text based on the image that we feed it. So we're feeding RunwayML for this, and here you go. So if you go to models, view all models, there's a bunch of them. The one that I used today is IM2 text. So if you type that, you should be able to see this image captioning one that I used. And as I shared last time, don't press this, go to learn more, and then if you click here, you should be able to host the model so that you get all the links, the domain, and things like that. And if you press host model, then you'll be able to see right here on the hosted place, you should be able to see this entire information that you would need. to write down into your text file. Yeah, if you haven't followed my previous tutorial, please follow that one. That one explains how you can connect RunwayML with vvvv. In today's tutorial, in today's Learn Log, the most important part is that I wanted to share how you use this async task. And if I have time, I'll also share about it. I mean, this if thing is also really cool. So what it's doing is async task is sending, like, I'm processing right now, so I'm still in progress. So you can get a in progress boolean out from here. So if you connect this to an if surrounding, then if in progress is on, then this text will show. So I can just disconnect this one just for now, and if I right click here, as you can see, loading will turn on, and if I right click this again, then the loading will just turn off. And this is pretty cool, so that you don't have to, I don't know, like, can automatically just get in progress toggle. So for example, if you have a bunch of particles, and while it's, you don't want to, how does it choose yourself, like when you don't want to control when the progress is done, but this one, it automatically just bangs that out. So it's quite cool. Okay, so let's see how we work on this. And by the way, today's patch, I got this from the help browser. So if you've already installed RunwayML, then there is this one saying that use the model without blocking vvvv. And if you click this, almost exactly the same patch will show up. And I basically just used this one. I replaced image rated to video in or something. And then, yeah, so you can use this all just by writing down these links for the image to text thing. But it's always good to learn from scratch, so I'll go back to where we used to be in our last run. So I just delete these, so I don't need if. I think I won't go for the if one. And then I think in our previous tutorial we went all the way to draw image, and then I think we had to draw image connected here and there. And yeah, so we now have two of them, and I think the position was different. So this one and another one. Okay, so I think this is where we used to be in with our last tutorial. So we had I think a segmentation node from RunwayML right below here, and then we had that connected to this draw image. And for today's one, I want to use a different node called im2text. So I've already written down the text file, the links, and the API keys. I'm going to delete this after this tutorial, by the way. I've got everything listed down here, so I should be able to get a RunwayML, and then im2text node should pop up. So today we're going to be using this one. But what I want to do today is I want to create an surroundings called Async Task, so that the window would not freeze while I'm editing. I'll just see what that means. So I'm going to connect this query here, and then to image to the image to text, and then I'll connect. Oh yeah, I need to get a text input. This one is from Skia Text, so if you haven't installed Skia, please get that one. I'll just delete this draw image, but I want to have this position, so I'll put it right here. And then I'll connect this one instead of the draw image, and then I'll connect im2text out to the text input, so that I would get the RunwayML out directly from, so that it will be shown here. So right now, if I right click this, what I'm guessing is while this is being processed, this editor will freeze. So let's see. Oh, it didn't freeze. But yeah, it didn't freeze. It seems like it sent something out. But as you can see right now, yeah, it is freezing. So the viewport is right now processing, and because it's using the main thread to process this, everything just froze. And we don't like this. again. So it froze, so I had to turn on and off vvvv again just to restart to make sure that it's all back. Want that freezing it happening anymore. So what we'll be doing here is we'll create if left double click, there should if you type async, then there should be two type of async. One is async loop, is an infinite loop in a background thread, and async task runs a given task once in a background thread. So today I want to use this async task, but if you have some sort of like loopable task, you should use async loop. But today we'll be using async task, and then I'll use a region. Yeah, so this is a region. So now we've got async task region, and it has a trigger input and a board input, and then it has an in progress output and the result output. So I'll connect this progress. First of all, I want to see when it's progressing, then I want this thing to bang, so I'm gonna get this as an output, and then I want two of these to be inside this async task, just in case. I mean, I don't think this needs to be here, but I mean, there's no reason to not spread a task with different threads, so I just put these two inside by clicking spacebar, and then dragging it into async task. You should be able to drag it in. If you don't press space, then it would not be inside, so make sure that you press space to get this thing inside. Okay, so next thing I'll do is I'll connect this to image thing to im2 text, so that I've got something, I mean, it's connected, and then I'll trigger this async task every time I trigger this, so that this task will start progressing when I trigger this button. And next thing I need is im2 text also needs a trigger input, so I'll connect this trigger to this im2 text query as well. And what else? Yeah, and then I think I'll just output this im2 text out, and then I'll connect this one here to the async task output, and now I should be able to get this result, but to the, no, it's not draw image, it should be text. And okay, so what I want to do next is I want to connect the result to the text input. However, right now I cannot connect this output to the text, and the reason is because I'm not really sure with this, but the result output is called observable right now, and we need to change this to a text. And to do so, I'm not really sure what this is doing, but every time after a sync task you need to use this node called hold last to store the latest notification and output. I'm not really sure, but just remember, I mean, you need this right after async tasks. So I'll connect this, and then I'll connect the image to text output to the output as well. And now, as you can see, the hold last result will be a value string. So now I should be able to connect this to a text input. Okay, so now everything is set, I guess, and it should all work. So what I'll try is, if I go back to my RunwayML, everything is on, it is awake. So I'll go back to my patch again. I'll try bang this button. So now things are in progress, nothing has frozen. I don't see any text yet, but as soon as this in progress is finished, I should be able to see a text. Yeah, riding a bike down on dirt. A man riding a bike down on a dirt. So that's what this image to text thing guessed from my video feed here. So what's cool is, if you use this async task, as you saw, the video player would not stop. However, every time you bang, the image that this image to text thing is sending to RunwayML is a specific frame. So it's not a video, it's just a frame because it's an image. and then it processes in RunwayML, well, like, what is this picture about, and then it will give me back the text description, and nothing froze. And I mean, for me, building up this patch, I had to restart vvvv for several times, and that's just because this, I'm not really sure, but this setting up async task things just messes up the thread, I guess. But once everything is set up, it's super stable, and it's handy. So I mean, it's something good to learn. And also, I think if you get hold last, you can get something like is processing. Was it progress or progress? Progress. No, process. I think it had a node called. Yeah, I can't find it. I'll just open one of these patch that I made before. Oh, it opened up VL. Oh no, this is correct. Yes, okay, so is assigned. So there is a node called is assigned. Sorry, I'll just delete this guy. There is a node called is assigned. Assigned. Yeah, if you don't see it, make sure that you bang one of these. There is a node called is assigned, and if you have this, for example, you can get a hold last, and then whenever there is how to say a string assigned here, then you would see something rendered. So for example, if I get if I surround this with right clicking, and then I'll surround this with if, so now this task is surrounded with if, and then I'll just get this connected here. So if has a condition input, and if there's no assigned false, if the is assigned has a false output, then there will be no text rendered. So I just connect this on here. It looks a bit messy. Right now I have a text assigned, so it is rendering something. So right now this is not doing anything, but in case if you're using Async Task, understanding that there is this thing called is assigned, so that if nothing is assigned, then this area will not, this if surrounded area will not render anything, for example, and that kind of stuff is possible. So it's great to know that these can be combined together. And also what I did, or what was in the sample patch that they had for RunwayML, this use model without blocking vvvv, they had another thing that when it's in progress, then there is this text that will be rendered. So for example, I'll just type here text called loading, and then whenever it's in progress, then I'll just surround this with again if, surround it with if, and then I'll connect this text right here, then right here, and then if this image to text, oh, it turned off. If this image to text is in progress, then this loading text will be visible. So let's just play around with this. So I'll just add a fill. I think this is the correct node. Yep. And then I'll just change the color to, I don't know, red or something. And then I want to change format. I think it was text format. Fonts and paragraph. There's a font and paragraph node. So if you get this one on into fill, and then I'll just change this style to bold or something, and then now my image to text is on, so I'll just press this. If I press this, and as you can see now there is a loading text shown, and then what happened? Didn't show me anything. Result, hold last, no text. Let me see, let's try that again. It didn't give me any text output, which should. And I'll just change this font and paragraph to the center. Vertical alignment, center. Yep. And then I can just connect this. Yeah. Wait, I'll just disconnect this guy. In progress. So now, right now, as you can see, loading will be shown here. I just changed the loading to manual, but I just reconnect this again. So once he finishes waking up, yeah, now he's awake. So let's bang this trigger again. Now it's loading, and that's strange. It's not showing me any text here. Oh, okay, yeah, my reset was on for the entire time, so I just turned this off. So don't reset anymore, and then again I have to turn on the RunwayML. Yeah, I had to bang this once, and now it's all weird. Let's see, it's still red, waking up. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that you can do here, and learning how to separate a task. I mean, this is something that we couldn't do in beta, and in gamma this part is really powerful. And I believe, like, in future, if you have a variety of graphics generated in vvvv, you can split a task to different thread, which means you can do more heavy or more graphic, or maybe a VJ style with different generative graphics in different threads. Okay, so now RunwayML is awake, so I'll press this. Loading, 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 in progress, bang. So now we get the result. A person riding a bike with a dog. There's no dog in the image, but everything worked pretty smooth. Okay, so that was it for today. I hope it helps someone who's interested in understanding how AsyncTask work, or how to connect RunwayML with vvvv. So that was it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.